Good day, everyone. Welcome to class. In today's class, what we want to discuss is glycolysis pathway. Glycolysis pathway. Have you ever wondered how the cells in the body produces energy from the food we eat, we consume? That is what we want to talk about in details today. So, the process by which cells produces energy from the food that we take, especially food that gives glucose, is glycolysis. Glycolysis pathway. And as its names imply, glycolysis from this, glyco means glucose, while this is mean breakdown. So, meaning that it's a pathway that helps in breaking down of glucose molecule. The molecule of glucose will now be broken down into two molecules of pyruvate. And the essence of this pathway is to produce energy that will keep the cell functioning, the day-to-day activities of the body. Is uptake into the cell. In the cytosol of the cell, that is where glycolysis occurs. So glucose has entered the cytosol of the cell. Glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the enzyme exokinase. And in this reaction, energy is used up. So ATP is converted to ADP. Now, glucose 6-phosphate is further converted into fructose 6-phosphate, which is catalyzed by the enzyme phosphoglucose isomerase. Then fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and by the help of the enzyme phosphofructose kinase 1, that is PFK. And then also an ATP is being used up and we get ADP. Further, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is being converted, it gives us two products. We have the glycerol 3-phosphate and the dihydroxyacetone phosphate. And the enzyme that catalyzes this reaction is aldolase. These two products that are produced are isomers, so that meaning they could be easily converted to each other. And the enzyme that can help us to do that is triose phosphate isomerase. Now, it is the glycerol 3-phosphate that will now enter into that will continue glycolysis pathway. So glycerol 3-phosphate is further converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate with the help of the enzyme glycerol 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. And there we have coenzyme NAD plus was used and giving us NADH, which is an electron carrier that can further go into electron transport chain to give energy. Now, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is further converted into 3-phosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. And here ATP is being produced. So we have ADP converting to ATP. Also, we have 2-phosphoglycerates gotten from 3-phosphoglycerate, and the enzyme that catalyzes that reaction is phosphoglycerate maltase. Then phosphoenolpyruvate, that is PEP, is also produced from 2-phosphoglycerates, and that enzyme is enolase. Also, finally, phosphoenolpyruvate is now converted to pyruvate, and the enzyme that catalyzes that reaction is pyruvate kinase. And in that reaction, also ATP is formed. So ADP is giving us ATP. Now, for glycolysis, if we count all these steps in glycolysis pathway, we have we have 10 steps in glycolysis pathway. 10 steps, and these steps are now divided, we can further divided into two. We have two main phases in glycolysis. We have the first phase and the second phase, that can also we can call the preparatory phase, where ATP is used up. Then we have the payoff phase, where ATP is being produced. Also, remember that this isomer, we said it could be easily converted into each other. So that means when glycerol enters into continues with the glycolysis and end, giving us one pyruvate. Also, dihydroxyacetone phosphate can also be converted to glycerol 3-phosphate and continue the glycolysis pathway. Meaning that this phase of the pathway phase is giving us 4 molecules of ATP, while the preparatory phase, which is the fourth phase, we make use of 2 ATP. So eventually, we minus the one we use from the one we produce. Glycolysis will give us 2 ATP overall, and also 2 molecules of pyruvate, also 2 molecules of electron carrier NADH. Now, let's try and make this thing easy. Let's break it down. For now, let's use this to explain our glycolysis fully, to know all these intermediates so that we will not be mixing them up. Now, good girls, just remember, just put it this and try and remember this. Good girls find fantastic gifts daily because prices promptly produces power. Now, G in good, what does it mean? That's our glucose. Girls, glucose phosphate. Finds, we are just taking the first letter of each word. Fine, that's fructose. Fantastic, that's fructose 1,6. Gifts, that is glacial reactive phosphate. Daily, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Because, that is 1,3 bis phosphoglycerate. Prices, that is 3 phosphoglycerate. Promptly, that is 2 phosphoglycerate. Produces, that is phosphoenolpyruvate. Then power, that is pyruvate. So good girls find fantastic gifts daily because prices promptly produces power. So you will not bear it in mind that at the stage of gifts and daily, that is where we have their isomers. They could be converted into each other. So it is this glacial reactive phosphate that will first enter into the glycolysis pathway. After that, then this will be converted to this and continue the pathway. So this trick will help us to understand, to know all these intermediates very well, so that we will not be able to mix together. Now let's move into tricks that we can also use in remembering or the each enzymes that are present in glycolysis pathway. Happy people plays athletic trivia games persistently, producing energy perfectly. So now, as we do for the intermediate, let's now do for each enzymes now. Happy H is for exokinase. Is for exokinase. People is for phosphoglucose isomerase. Now, place is for PFK, phosphofructose kinase 1. Athletic, that's for aldolis. Trivia, this for tyrose phosphate isomerase. Gains, that's for glacial reactive phosphate dehydrogenase. Persistently, that is for phosphoglycerate kinase. Also, producing, that is for phosphoglycerate mutates. Then energy, that is for enolis. Why perfectly, that is for pyruvate kinase. I hope this really helped you to understand and to know more about glycolysis, its enzymes, and easy way for you to remember your glycolysis pathway every other time that you need to remember. See you in the next class. Bye bye.